if you were talking to someone from Jacksonville or Nashville who's not a 49ers fan and not following this team closely at all, how would you explain the 49ers to a non-49ers fan?
Yeah, someone who's they're just another team out there, like the Raiders or just a West Coast team. What would you say they do and their kind of their personality is? Iggy, you're better at this than I am. Would you mind starting?
Okay, well, they're a team that's dominated by its head coach. They have a young head coach who's very creative, and he has all the power in the organization. He hired the GM. He makes most of the personnel decisions. He is very exciting to watch. His offense will produce big runs, big throws every game. Really nice highlights. Very good. It's a pleasing brand of football to watch. It's also um, philosophically sound. They run the ball well. They set it up with play action, and they play very good defense too. It's like they have a good formula. They have good players, but they have some weird quirks. Like they always get hurt. 8 seasons in a row, they get hurt. And they've had 4 winning seasons since 2003. So while they always seem to show promise and people seem to expect growth from them, they have no track record of success with this team the last 20 years. And then the last thing that people may not know about the 49ers is they don't even play in San Francisco. They play basically in San Jose, in a place that pretty bad stadium. We're going to talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll get to that soon. Iggy, I'm going to keep asking you questions.
Sure.
You've done a beautiful job up to so far, as we would say. Could you sort of be more specific and characterize what kind of offense do they use?
Sure. A lot of people think that Kyle Shanahan has brought a return to the West Coast offense for the 49ers. He hasn't. It looks like the offense that Bill Walsh ran because the quarterback's under center and there are 2 running backs in the backfield. There's a fullback. It looks like the old structure. But what Bill Walsh did was he would pass to set up the run. He would come out the game with drop back passes, 3-step drop, 5-step drop, 7-step drop. That's what it was all about. This is the opposite philosophy. The philosophy here is you run the ball to set up the pass. You don't want to drop. They don't want to drop back very much at all. It's all about handing off and faking handoffs, running and play action. And what Kyle Shanahan and his dad do better than probably anyone ever is making the run plays look exactly like the play action plays. So as the linebackers are trying to diagnose what's happening, really until the quarterback takes the ball and starts running the other way with it, no one knows what's happening. There are very few indicators because the offensive linemen block the same exact way on the run plays and the play action plays. It's really terrific, and it's what creates the big plays.
And you like it. You like that offense?
Absolutely. It's really, really good. You've seen it. A lot of teams use it now. The Rams use it. The Seahawks just fired Little Schottenheimer and hired a guy from the Rams, so they're going to be doing it. If the Cardinals flop this year with this roster, I wouldn't be surprised if they fire Cliff Kingsbury and hire someone from the Rams or the Niners to do something. It's very much the in vogue way of doing offense.
Okay. You did a beautiful analysis on the offense. Do it for the defense now.
Okay. The defense, very interesting. It's a first-year defensive coordinator, D'Amico Ryans, who was groomed by Robert Saleh. Robert Saleh started as a very vanilla defensive coordinator. Rush 4, play zone coverage. That's what we're going to do. And it was effective at times early on, and he evolved into someone who would do whatever it took to win that week. He was much more like Belichick by the end than Pete Carroll, who is where he learned under. So they had a genius at defensive coordinator. He's gone. And now we don't know what their identity is on defense at all right now. The guy, D'Amico Ryans, says he wants to be an aggressive defense. Well, every coordinator says that. We don't know what that means. We do know about their players. They have a middle linebacker, Fred Warner, who is the smartest, best middle linebacker in the game. They're very invested in their defensive line. They're really structured like a 1997 defense where you build it all up front and you bring in free agents who are about 30 years old to play cornerback, and you don't spend too much money on the back end, which is usually it's a little old school because so many wide receivers who are great right now, so many spread out offenses. You need people who can cover them, but the Niners are built more the way defenses were when John Lynch was playing in 1998. It's a good defense, though.
Would you say it's a hard-hitting defense?
I would say it's a hard-hitting defense. Absolutely. They have a mantra, all gas, no brakes. and they fly around. Sometimes they miss assignments. Sometimes they get injured playing too hard. Sometimes they get injured in practice. But they are a very hard hitting defense. Yes.
I would conclude my thoughts by saying I find Kyle Shanahan's Niners interesting and pleasurable to watch. I
Yes.
like to watch them.
Yes.
Now, let me refine that. I didn't. I'm not joking around now, but Mike Singletary, Tom Sula, the joke Chip Kelly.
Mhm.
I found them agonizing to watch.
Mhm.
Iggy, we'd be at games and it would be like, this is awful. It's like reading a bad book. It's like,
Yeah.
but I don't feel that way about Shanahan. It's a good book.
Yes.
Sometimes he has chapters that don't work out well, and certainly he doesn't have good final chapters. But I find his team very pleasurable to watch, and that's a nice feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. And I actually got to say, his offense is much more pleasurable to watch than Harbaugh's. Greg Roman's.
Yes.
Greg Roman's run game was cool, but so is Shanahan's. And Greg Roman's passing game, his play, he had no idea about how to structure a play action game, and he still doesn't over in Baltimore. So yeah, I would say that's one reason that people like Kyle Shanahan is it's just aesthetically pleasing what he puts on the field every time, even if they lose.
That's right.
Yeah.
I like what you said, aesthetically pleasing.
Yes.
And that would matter to you and me.
Yes, it would. And it matters to the fans. I mean, if you're going to be a 500 team or you're not going to win all the time, at least, have big plays to George Kittle and big runs by Raheem Mostert. It's exciting. And it's really good for fantasy football. A lot of people play that game, and the Niners players always produce. So I think Kyle Shanahan has a lot of fans in that sense. He makes people money.
Okay, what's our next topic?
All right, hold on. We got a question real quick from Marcus. He says, do you think Jimmy G will be asked by Shanahan or have any say about whether Lance is ready to start? And if so, will he be honest?
Oh, I don't think he'll be asked.
I don't
think coaches
he'll be
ask
told.
players.